Hello everybody and welcome back to another Rockabilly guitar lesson. No solo lesson today, but instead I'm starting a new mini-series where I talk about the role of the acoustic rhythm guitar in rock and roll and rockabilly, and strumming patterns, chords, stuff like that. That I probably neglected a little bit on this channel because in the bands I mainly play solo guitar, and I think there's also much more to learn and to explore on the electric guitar. But nevertheless, I always get requests for the rhythm guitar side of rock and roll rockabilly playing, and of course I want to answer those requests as well. However, I will also have some more solo guitar lessons in the next weeks, like the Sun classic Love My Baby by Hayden Thompson, and that's no coincidence because Hayden Thompson himself will be a guest in my next show, Let's Talk Rock and Roll, on April 25th, and I'm totally excited about that and a little proud as well. But now let's get back to the rhythm guitar, and today I want to show you the most intuitive strumming pattern where we play A to the bar. And there are several kinds how you can play A to the bar, which means you strum the guitar 8 times in one bar, and you will count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the first way of doing it would be just using downstrokes. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So very often I will emphasize the 2 and the 4 because this is when also the snare hits if you play with the drummer. So I will start quiet and play just the A, D and G string, hold the pick pretty loose, and then on 2 and 4 I will use all 6 strings and use a little more force as well. So it will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And somebody who uses this technique a lot was Buddy Holly. I mean, he played, of course, mainly his Fender Stratocaster, but you can hear him on the Apartment tapes using an acoustic guitar and a similar approach on songs like Peggy Sue Got Married, for instance. Yeah? So, of course, starts with his famous intro. It's like Peggy Sue, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the chords are just your A, D and E. And I will have an extra lesson where I talk about chords, but now let's get back to the strumming pattern. So that you emphasize the 2 and the 4 is not a law that you always have to obey, but very often it's used, to give you a good punch, a good beat. But when I would sing the song, during the verse I would just play quietly, like this, just using like 2 or 3 strings, because of course 2, 3 strings are not as loud as 6. Let me show you what I mean. Please don't tell, no, 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 don't say that I've told you so. I just had a rumor from a friend. And then when I'm not singing, I'm getting louder again. And I think this dynamic playing is very important as well. Yeah? When you're singing, the whole band can come down a little bit, and then in the solo or in the breaks when the singer doesn't sing, everybody can come up a little bit. Now with this approach where you just use downstrokes, you're always wasting one motion, the up motion. That's why you're pretty limited in tempo. If you want to play faster songs or play a little bit more relaxed, then you can use the up and down motion. So you're starting with a downstroke on 1, and then on one end you're going up. Now let me show you what I mean. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now these were 2 bars. And again, when I play quiet, I just use the 2 or 3 strings of the guitar, mainly the A, D and G string, and then on 2 and 4 I hit it with full force. all 6 strings. Yeah, depending on the chord, of course. In D, you wouldn't use the E string, the low E string. Okay. So one more time. And if you have trouble with the emphasizing of the 2 and 4, I would start very slow and then overdo it. Yeah, exaggerate, like. And practice like this until you got it down. Now, a good example for where I would use this technique is Love Me by Wayne Walker and Jimmy Lee Fothery. And this was actually the request that inspired me to do the mini-series. It's in the key of A, and you will mainly use the A chord here, and very briefly the E. So you don't have to think much about the changes, and you can concentrate on the rhythm. Baby, won't you love me like I want you to do? Baby, won't you tell me that you're gonna be true? Hold me, squeeze me, kiss and play me too. Love me, love me, love me like I want you to do. Like this. Of course, the second voice is missing, but you get the idea. You don't have to use the pick necessarily. Often I will just play with my bare hands. And then for the downstrokes, I will use the fingers, mainly the middle finger, ring finger, and a little bit of the pinky. And when I come up, I will use the thumb. Like this. And I probably even prefer this technique with my bare hands because it feels more natural. So you want to have like a twisting motion in your wrist, like this. Try to stay relaxed, and let me show you another example here. I've got Leaving on My Mind. You're wrong, oh so wrong, when you think you're gonna stay and let you trifle on me, honey, every single day. You're wrong, oh so wrong, when you think I am that blind. Pay close attention, honey, I got leaving on my mind. Many earlier rockabilly songs, also country and blues songs, you won't have a straight rhythm but more of a shuffle feel. That sounds something like this. It's more of a jumpy, swinging rhythm. Yeah, you don't play straight like before. And the shuffle is mainly used for mid-tempo songs. For instance, I Forgot to Remember to Forget by Elvis. You still want to emphasize the 2 and the 4 in most of the songs. Can sound something like this. I forgot to remember to forget her. I can't seem to get her off my mind. So this ends the first part of this mini-series, and this can be viewed as a base for the coming lessons. If you like this rhythm guitar lesson, please let me know in the comments. I will read each one of them, and thank you so much for watching and for your ongoing support. Keep rocking!